Scientists think that the area where the Sahara is today was covered with vegetation.
Why would Africans be cannibals when there's food all over the place? So why are these people like this? When you look at European history, right? Europe was cold. These people, they came out of Africa. These are people of African descent, right? Tens of thousands of years prior. If you're a biblical person, let's call it 1,000 years, whatever. These people came out of Africa. They were either exiled or they were exploring. They settled in Europe. These people were in caves, right? Cold climate. They had an environment of scarcity, right? Because winter comes. So you don't have crops all year long. So there's no crops all year long. And that's why preserves are very big in European culture, right? Because of these cold climates. So people would take berries, they would take fruits, vegetables, whatever. They would can them, they would pickle them. This is where this culture came out of winter. So these Africans who migrated to Europe and other places in the mountains and such, right? These cave, cold climates, right? They were in an environment that required them to be more cutthroat, right? To be more deceptive, to hoard what they had, to save, to hang on to what they had, right? This is very beneficial in today's society because you see the successful people. This is the kind of mentality that is required in order to be successful in today's day and age in the capitalist society. So this is really and truly the evolution of a people who came out of a climate that required such behavior. So that none of this is hate. None of this is pointing the finger and saying, you're all bad. That's one thing I don't jump on. I don't blanket statement all people. I don't blanket statement all women or all Caucasians or nothing. I'm giving you the historical fact of why these people are so comfortable lying. This is out of the culture of Europe. This is what Europe required in order to survive, in order to have success. So the people that you see today walking around, they're the descendants of people who did survive. So they are the descendants of people who took these measures. Whereas I contrast in African society, people didn't need to behave like that. They talk about cannibalism. It's a very huge trope that Africans are cannibals, when that's pure projection. It was the Europeans who were cannibals. Why? Because they had no food. Why would Africans be cannibals when there's food all over the place? Imagine you live in a grocery store with your family. Why the hell would you eat your mom? Why would you eat your brother? You're in a grocery store. But you see these dumb, I don't want to say low IQ, but these uneducated, I'm going to get it off Hassan because I'm not talking about Hassan here. Poor guy. These dumb, uneducated right wingers who just lap this up, these especially Americans, they truly believe when they read in a history book that Africans were cannibals. And if you just think for 1 second, you'll realize that this is a place that's plentiful with food. Especially when we're talking about thousands of years ago, this place had tons of food all over the place, walking around, growing out of the ground, right?
Ancient pollen from the area confirms this. The scientists think that the area where the Sahara is today was covered with vegetation, and that it stretched all the way to the Arabian Peninsula.
These people were not cannibals.